this strategy just really gets me excited. And this is something that, like I said, I use myself. I always make sure that my agency clients are implementing it. Now, there are certain requirements that you need in order to make sure that this is going to be an effective strategy for you, because this strategy is not for everyone. And so I just want to make sure that before we get into the training, that before you do any retargeting, okay, there are certain criteria that I want you guys to understand in this program, because I see that so many people get so overwhelmed because they have FOMO, right? They see me recommend something to Argentina, and then all of a sudden everyone's like, well, I want to do that. And it's like, well, you're not ready for that. And so I'm going to start being super careful and just like kind of do these trainings with a little warning. So when you come into this program, I always tell people that there are like two missions, right? One, we need to put some power content in place. And two, we need to make sure that we are getting our leads or our clicks on target with our KPIs, okay? I always tell people, hey, let's pick one organic strategy and one paid strategy, perfect those before we go to multiple platforms. And so today, I just want to refresh that if you have not accomplished mission number 1 or mission number 2, then you're not going to be ready for that strategy. And so just a reminder, mission number 1 is to launch your 3 pieces of power content, start hitting your KPIs as far as getting through plays less than 15 cents, and that you're getting as close to that $1 per 100% as possible. Because if you want to retarget, you're going to need at least 500 people to watch that video 25% of the time, or whatever you have set for that KPI, right? Natalie might want to do 25%, where Steven might be like, you know what? I would rather get 75% of that video watched. So we're going to set that KPI, but just know that we want to make sure that we are getting what we want out of this power content strategy. And then of course, we want to make sure that we're also getting our leads at the right cost and our clicks at the right cost. Because if we don't do this first, we're going to start getting lost, and then you're going to start focusing on something else, when really the first 2 focuses that you need to have is your power content and your whatever that acquisition offer is. And so just a reminder, these are the 2 top of funnel strategies, we call them missions, like that we need to have dialed in before we start thinking about any type of retargeting. Because I see so many people who place their, let's say their webinar ads, they're not even getting leads at a cost that's effective to them, and they already want to jump into retargeting. And so we want to avoid that. So we want to make sure that we have our power content videos in place, and they're gathering and collecting the audiences at a KPI that we've selected. And if we have, now remember, there are 2 different ways that we can get leads into our ecosystem. One is through your acquisition offer, which is a webinar, a low ticket offer, whatever you're doing to drive leads. But the second way that we can drive leads into our ecosystem is through the power content. So we want to make sure that we have those 2 things in place. And one of the things that I'm going to show you guys today is that you could see right here, the reverse organic strategy is down here. There are 2 ways that people can enter our ecosystem. The Instagram strategy is one of the ecosystem strategies. So we are going to send not only the people who have come through our acquisition offer to this strategy, but we could also send people who've been watching our power content. So the reverse organic right here is one of the first things that we do to execute the entire ecosystem. So if we do not have our 2 top of funnel strategies performing, we can't worry about anything down here, right? If we're not getting enough leads, our emails aren't really going to make a difference, right? If we're not getting enough leads to even test anything, if we're not getting enough leads to even test any of the content that we're going to do moving forward for retargeting. So the one thing that I want you guys to know today is that there's two ways that people can enter the ecosystem: one through our power content, two through our top of funnel. And so that's what we are actually going to be doing today, is this reverse organic strategy. And it's always funny. People always ask me, Laurel, you are doing so well with your business. Why is it that you don't have that many Instagram followers? Like, I think I'm right below, as I'm looking right now, I think, like, let's see. Yeah, I'm at 1980, not a lot. But the reason that I have a lot of engagement, have you guys ever visited someone on Instagram and you see that they have like 10,000 followers, 180K followers, and then you go to their post and there's only like 3 likes on it, right? First sign that people are buying their followers, right? And so I always know, like, I can easily tell when I visit someone's Instagram whether or not they've bought followers. And I can say that most of the people that I visit that I'm like, you know, a couple of, I won't call them out, but like, there's a couple of people that I was like, oh, you bought those followers, but yet they're these big gurus, right? And so the way that I want my followers to engage with me on Instagram are people who have already came through the ecosystem. And so they're either been introduced through my power content, or they have visited my $7 offer. You're going to see like how truly powerful this is. Like, every single month since I've implemented this strategy, and I started implementing it when I had less than 1,000 people, on average, I get 7 to 10 followers a day on average. But again, these are highly qualified people. So when you go to my page, you can see that I get engagement, because I'm not only utilizing the ad strategies, but I'm also implementing the power content strategies and making sure that I'm using my repurpose and everything, making sure that I'm keeping my Instagram up to date. I'm very active on Instagram. I love Instagram as a platform. It's super easy to move people. You know how we always say conversations are the fastest path to cash. Instagram is an amazing tool to be able to move those people to Messenger. I don't know about you guys, but I find it so much easier to have conversations on Instagram than I do on Facebook. I think maybe because sometimes our Facebook messengers can be a shit show and you don't really get pitched as much in Instagram. And I don't know, for some reason, I just find that it's easier to have those conversations. And so how this is actually going to work. So I just wanted to show you guys what this looks like. So as you can see, not spending a terrible amount of money, right? $3 on the first ad, and then $1 a day for the rest of the ads. Okay. So they're reach campaigns, right? Daily unique reach. I'm not doing any conversions or anything like that. What I'm asking people to do is simply just engage with me on Instagram. Why am I doing this? I'm building credibility. I'm getting my face. It's part of this whole top of mind ecosystem marketing, right? So if we take a look at this, so the very first ad off the top, right? If you go here, that's the one that's $3 a day. Now, again, this is one campaign. I just call it my reverse organic Instagram. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of content. The first one, if you notice, I'm doing all warm. And what that is people who've been watching my power content videos, or they visited my $7 offer. They didn't have to buy my $7 offer. As a matter of fact, for most of my clients who have webinars, I don't even wait for them to become a lead. If they visit my client's webinar page, even though they don't opt in, I'm still sending them to Instagram. Now, another one of my clients, he only wants to retarget people who have watched his webinar because his team does call setting through Instagram. And so he's very specific over how he wants us to do that reverse organic. But it's up to you, right? And that's one of the things that I want you guys to really have fun with, is like, make the strategy your own. Like, who do you want to become followers on Instagram? Natalie might just want people who are coming in through her webinar. She might not want people who've watched video views or even visited her landing page. Me, I always consider people a quote lead. If they've engaged with any of my content for like a certain period of time, I would say, like, if anyone's visited my sales page, I want them to become a follower of me on Instagram, because I give away a lot of ad strategies. I give away a lot of ad tips, and eventually they're going to buy. Most of the time, people who don't buy my $7 program actually become really amazing premium clients, because they just skip the $7 and just go straight for premium, because I've brought them in through this strategy. And think about this. You can do this on Instagram. You could do this on LinkedIn. You could do this like on YouTube, right? You can turn, like, think about this. If people are visiting your power content, or if they're visiting your acquisition offer and you're sending them to a place that's pixeled, right? That has the Google Tag Manager, right? Because if your power content, you're using your value bomb landers on Facebook, right? You could always invite them to become a subscriber to your YouTube channel. That's how I get my subscribers on YouTube, is I'm not only doing this on Instagram, I'm doing this on YouTube as well. The people who get my YouTube subscribe ads are people who've engaged with any piece of my content, whether that is my power content cheat sheets, whether it's my blog post, whether it is visiting my sales page, whether it's been any of the events that I've had and people have come in through that pixel. And so I just want to let you guys know that this is not this doesn't just work on Instagram. This works across any other platform. And so this is how we can cross-pollinate platforms here, because what if my Facebook gets shut down? I have a whole bunch of people that are engaging with me on Instagram. I've got a whole bunch of people who engage with me on YouTube. Go to my YouTube channel. People comment for cheat sheets there too. So I've been able to create my audience, but bring them across multiple platforms. That's why I wasn't freaking out that one day when Facebook went out, just like, talking to people, on YouTube, talking to people on my Telegram channel, about what's going on and, why you should prepare for something like that to happen, because you never know, right? So let's talk about what those ads actually look like, okay? So the first one is just a story ad. Want to learn ads for free? Swipe up. And it's something super easy. Like, hey, I saw that you were so close to buying my $7 program. I get it. You're skeptical. You probably think I'm just another guru. Try me out. Swipe up, follow me. I give away free ad strategies every week. Very, very simple. 15 seconds. It's only 15 seconds long. So that's a story ad. So if we go back to look at it right here, this first ad is going to all warm. So this is people who have viewed my power content or people who visited my $7 offer. Now, all of the other ones, check this out. All of the other ones are based on my Instagram engagement. So my other Instagram ads are not going to all warm. They're just going to whoever engaged with me on Instagram. I think I have this one set in the last 14 days. Now you could set this 180 days. You could set this to whatever you want. As a matter of fact, if you guys wanted to, you could do all warm for all 5 of these ads. The reason that I'm not doing that is just because I want people to follow me. And then I really want to spend that dollar just on those people who became a follower in the last 14 days. But you can set all of these ads to all of your warm audience. It could be super, super powerful. Maybe you don't have the audience to be able to create just Instagram engagement ads. You might need, right, the bulk of all of your audiences for these ads to even spend money. Because remember, it takes 500 people in a custom audience, even for a reach campaign, to spend. So if you don't have the audience for it, you might want to go all warm, all warm, all warm, all warm, all warm across the board and take all of your video views, all of your page engagement, all of your Instagram engagement. As a matter of fact, like all of my warm nurture ads that you guys see on Facebook, those are all anyone who's engaged with my page in the last 365 days, anyone who's engaged with my Instagram in the last 365 days, and anyone who's visited my sales page, 0 exclusions. I don't worry about exclusions. I don't give a shit. Like when people are like, and it's so funny, like people will message me and be like, stop spending money, wasting your ad spend. I'm like, dude, I'm spending $1 for this ad. Like you're like maybe a half a cent for you to see this ad, right? Instead of complaining, I'm like, maybe you should just say something nice about my program that you're in, right? But I mean, I show you guys the different ways to do this so that you can create like your own strategy. I just want to show you guys like what I'm doing. And then, like I said, Natalie could be like, you know what? I just want to get my people who are watching my power content videos onto my Instagram. She might not even want to send people like with their webinar. There's all kinds of different strategies that you can do. So like I said, that first one is a story ad. I spend the most on that one because it's got the bigger audience, right? Because all warm. So that's why I spend $3 on that one, because I've got a huge ass warm audience. I've got like 30, 40,000 people in my warm audience. And still I'm only spending $3 a day. And then the rest of them, I'm just spending $1 a day. And I just chose Instagram and anyone who's engaged with my page with my Instagram in the last 14 days. So let's take a look at the other ads. So started off with a story ad. I like to do an authority ad. Now, this is just me speaking on stage. It's like a little video. You can't even hear me. Like, this is a silent video, just zooms in on me speaking from stage. And I just let my Instagram caption just says, how to blast teaching $5 ad strategies at Chris Weiser 7-figure live MSP event. What do you guys notice? There's not any call to action or anything. I'm not giving anything away. There's no call to action. It's just shows what I'm doing. Same thing with this one with me and Dan. No call to action, no nothing, just a little engagement thing. What do you think we talked about? This one's a value video. This one has a call to action. Learn YouTube ads for just $7 a month. This one sends people to my new podcast. I just launched my second season of my podcast, so I just replaced my other value video with this one. I'm not doing this for a call to action per se. What I'm doing is I'm building my authority. I'm building my credibility. I'm staying visible in front of people who are visiting my offers. And so I'm creating that ecosystem so that they're like, okay, this Laurel girl knows her shit, right? Like, think about it. Like, if you guys would have only seen one ad from me and nothing else, would any of you guys be sitting here? Probably not. But it's because, like, I gave out a lot of free valuable content, and you guys can see I'm not spending a ton on these. So again, you could do this on YouTube, right? Like, if we think about, instead of a story ad, just have a 60-second YouTube ad that says, hey, I saw you almost bought my it's the reminder video. A lot of you guys have gone through like the Hot 7 or the ATM training. The first video out of that's the reminder video. Hey, I saw you almost bought. Or, hey, I saw you were checking out my program. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, get all my ad strategies for free. So that's all that we're doing here. So what I'm actually going to do is I am going to see, I should be able to get you guys to be able to unmute. So I'm just going to open it up to Q&A. There's not much to this strategy. It's pretty straightforward, but super, super powerful. One of my clients, Jay Jackson, uses this. This is one of his favorite strategies because he's a Instagram guy. He likes this strategy more than he likes any of my other strategies. Miss Natalie.
Yeah. So 2 questions. First of all, I'm not an Instagram girl. Like, I have 3 Instagram accounts, but I hardly ever do anything with them. So is this something you would still recommend for me?
No, if you're not active on Instagram, I wouldn't, because like that's a good question, because I don't want anyone executing anything if they're not on it, right? If you're not on YouTube, don't put ads on YouTube or whatever. We could scale to that later and talk about like how you can use an Instagram strategy, but if you're not on Instagram, just don't worry about it.
Yeah, because to be honest, I am keeping so busy replying to all the Facebook messages I've been getting that I don't even know if I can. So really, this isn't applying to me right now at this point then.
This isn't applying to you at this point, but think about this. It's the same concept what we talked about last week with the Fire Force sequence. Essentially, this is a retargeting sequence with value, because we have like the committed calls to action videos, and then we have like the videos that have just value or just there for visibility. It's the same concept. And that's what I just want you guys to understand is like, as we're going through like the entire ecosystem, I just want you guys to understand that we're just creating content just to pull people through. Some of it's going to have calls to action, some of them aren't, but each one of them has their purpose. So like, if you wanted to just execute this like on Facebook, it's essentially the Fire Force strategy.
So then you would be using those Fire 4 videos.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're not creating whole new content for this other than your Instagram story ad.
Yep, exactly. Like I'm essentially using some of the same content with the exception of like a few photos of me like on stage or whatever. Think about this strategy as more visibility.
Okay, so are you using the stuff where you have the soft CTA where you're like, hey, comment below and get my free thing?
You can, you absolutely can. Like this, the one that I had before this one was my $5 ad strategy, and I had people commenting for my $5 ad strategy. I just switched this one out literally yesterday.
And are these posts that actually show on your Instagram feed, or are they just ads?
So basically, like if you look at my Instagram feed, look, that the one that you see right here, this one is this one right here on my Instagram feed. So I'm literally just using existing posts.
Okay. All right.
So
cool.
yeah, and you do it in a very similar way. You just go to use existing posts, and instead of Facebook page, you select Instagram, and it'll let you select. Now, here's the thing. You can select any of the videos that are only 60 seconds long. Remember, because the Instagram news feed only allows 60 seconds. So that's where that repurpose workshop that I did with you guys comes into play. So anytime that I'm doing power content, right, that's on my personal profile, YouTube, and business page, I'm pulling it into repurpose.io and creating these 60-second snippets that I can use on Instagram for this purpose.
Okay. Thank
Good
you.
question.
I'm going to get going because I have my discovery call, but thanks.
Yep, absolutely. Brett. Hey, stranger.
Hey, long time no see.
Yep.
Don't worry, I've been busy. Doing good things. Actually, you actually answered one of the questions right just a second ago when you said because I'm not super active on Instagram. I would like to become more active on Instagram, but I was wondering, like, as I know that there are time limits on how long you can make videos, and that was so repurpose.io, and then take the power content and pare it down. That's exactly what I was going to ask.
Yep.
And then actually the other question I was having, going back to the power content, is I've kind of scaled back on the original power content that I had going to the like the large audiences for like growing my business online. And the reason why is just recently with things just like changing and like opening up more, like more people have been coming locally to my gym, and I've just been having a lot more success like with local reach out.
Yep.
And so I think I was hoping to get some feedback from you on like what is your take on like building like a local audience? Like, do you use power, or could you use power content to do that?
Same exact strategy. There's no difference between e-com, physical, brick and mortar. It's all the same strategy, all the same buyer journey.
Okay. Would I just do like a pin drop then, like within a radius, and then as far as like
so typically like with gym type stuff,
yeah,
I will actually write power content too, because some people want to lose weight, some people want to build muscle. So I literally like create, whenever I'm doing local ads, especially for gyms, I do micro content. So like some of them are based on, like different diets, some of them are based on different workouts, some of them are based on, and then what we're doing is we're dropping a pen around the gym, because like I just finished up a campaign with one that was in like Beaverton, Oregon, which is like outside of like I forget.
That's like 20 minutes from me, actually.
Okay, that's right. You but like one of Brandon Hofer's clients, and all we did was we literally like dropped a pin, because he didn't even want to go 5 miles. He literally, because there were so many gyms in the area, he's like, I want to go 2 miles. And so we were able to go a little bit more broad. But what we did was we actually worked with micro niches as far as like micro content. So we had, I want to say like 3 different, so we had 9 total power content videos that were bringing people in.
Okay.
And so what we were doing was power content, and then retargeting those people to those retargeting ads, like through an Instagram, the reverse organic, and the $2 ads, like the Fire 4 sequence that go to the offer. But we were also doing top of funnel ads. So we still have the same thing, right? Power content, because there's 2 ways that people can enter the ecosystem. And so power content that runs all the freaking time on their business page. And then we sent them an offer. And then the reverse organic got in the people who are visiting the offer and the people who are watching the video. And the Fire 4 included the people who are watching the power content or the people who had visited the offer page, not necessarily clicked and entered their name and email, but they hit the offer page.
Okay. Yeah. So it sounds like for me, I need to just scale back and just start with getting the power content running to local audiences, testing out a bunch of different ones. You know, I understand the KPIs that we were hitting before, and that's, so I'm confident in, you know, just tweaking things until I start hitting that. And then the next step would be then to retarget, but not worry about that until we're hitting the KPIs of the power content.
Yep, absolutely. And like some of the, like one of the things that we were talking about like last week with like Argentina that I think would work out really well for you is the people who are watching your power content, making your Fire 4 more behind the scenes of like what makes your gym so special.
Oh,
that
okay.
way you're hooking them with really high value. Here's what you should do as far as working out and stuff like that. But now that you've hooked them, sell them on your gym. Why should they come to your gym? And then push them to that next call to action. And
then that would be the Fire 4. That's the retargeting sequence, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
It's the retargeting sequence that comes out of the lead generator.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't actually delved a whole lot into that sector. I've been mostly in the discovery call accelerator. So, but it might be worth looking into that stuff then. Sounds like.
Yep, absolutely. We do the Fire 4 sequence for any kind of lead generation, whether it's for, you know, booked calls or whether it's for, you know, coming out of a webinar, coming out of an ebook. The Fire 4 is just to kind of bridge the gap between that first step of the funnel to the second part of the funnel.
Yeah, which you mentioned it earlier too, but like the whole idea of like, you know, if you've got like your email sequence set up, you don't have leads coming in, like you can't test anything. And that's kind of where I've been at. So,
yep, and
you know,
and if you look at like this part, right, like if we go back here and we look at this, 20% of people are going to see your email. That's it. Like open rates are about 20%, right? But 80% of people are going to see your Fire 4 or your reverse organic on Instagram. It's a huge percentage of people, right? That are going to see more people will see these $2, $1 ads than will see your email. So that's why I don't rely on email, but I really rely on middle of funnel ads.
Okay. Well, cool. Thank you for clarifying those things for me.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Petra.
Hey. So I'm one of those people too that doesn't do much on Instagram. However, since I've done the repurpose, and I guess we're just repurposing it to the TV part of Instagram because I have longer videos than 1 minute right now. My VA is doing that. But
you'd have your VA create snippets using repurpose. So repurpose, it's super easy. You just bring in your power content and you can select parts of the video to make little snippets.
Yes, I can. But right now we went to TV, which I guess you can do longer videos, but you
can use longer videos on IGTV. I do that too. You just want it to be the 9:16 framework, but you can't run ads to that.
Okay.
So that's why I do both. So like if you go to like my Instagram feed, you'll see like that some of my videos are in the like longer format, like the Instagram TV format that's in the news feed. And then some of them are in the 60-second square. So I'm doing both. So whenever I use repurpose, I bring it in as an IGTV 9:16. Because I know that the whole video is going to go to IGTV, but I also create 3 snippets of 60-second videos that I can also use that I know that I can use in this Instagram ad strategy.
And that's the square kind.
So basically in my repurpose settings, I've got one that says Facebook Live to IGTV. That's one setting, and it sets it in the 9:16. And then I've got another setting that's from Facebook Live to Instagram and LinkedIn news feeds, because LinkedIn likes those shorter videos too. So I use those shorter videos on LinkedIn.
Okay. Now the one thing that I've noticed is that since I've been doing that, my following, despite that I don't do anything else on Instagram, has actually gone from like, I think I was under 200 to 464 followers just by using the repurpose. And once in a while I get a comment, but obviously people must like the videos because that's all that comes on there. So it's working.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if you're not doing anything. So I would just say keep feeding it and throw in like every couple of posts, like on my Instagram. And I have it like stupidly organized. I started kind of like doing like skipping around to kind of make it a lot easier to find my content in my news feed. But every so like 6 posts or something, I have like a one that has like a strong call to action to do something. But otherwise, it's just like 2 steps and giving away free content. And what I really use Instagram for is to drive. So what I use Instagram for is to really drive people to my YouTube channel. I've driven more content. I mean, I've driven more people to my YouTube channel because I don't know if you guys notice now, you could actually link even if you don't have 10,000 followers, you can actually link people in your Instagram stories to an outside link now. Used to, you could only you had to have 10,000 followers. Now, anytime I post a video on my YouTube channel, I can do an Instagram story and directly link it straight from my story. So that's a huge change to the Instagram platform.
So your story is something short that you then expand to on YouTube?
I don't even do like a vocal thing. I'll just screenshot it on YouTube and say, I'll use like a little sticker that says new YouTube video. And then you use the URL sticker and it lets you put in the link to that YouTube video there. And so people could literally I don't even say anything. It's like one of those just still images.
Okay. I'll look on your IG and look that up. Cool.
Yeah. So like if you go, see, like you can just mine are all just still, I just do like the little stickers and stuff that let you see how like people can just click there and it just takes them straight to the videos.
Ha. Awesome. Great.
Yeah, absolutely. I use Instagram and Twitter to just drive YouTube traffic. That's Instagram and YouTube's Instagram and Twitter's sole purpose is to drive YouTube viewers.
Okay.
Argentina.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good.
I was so thrown back when yesterday was not a call. It's like I went to check your calendar. It's like, oh, it got moved. It's like,
yeah, because November was had like 5 Mondays in it.
Yeah, I know. So anyway, so everything that you're saying is just trying to work out some ideas and because right now what I do in Instagram is more about a lot of postings about empowering women and feeling good enough and all that. And I think that for me to do a reverse organic, to send them back to Instagram, to hear about that, things that I hit a lot also in Facebook, in the business page and in emails, it would be redundant. So I was thinking that maybe it would be more sense, since Instagram is all about images, to focus in just beautiful, just pure boudoir images, and maybe before and after, so the transformations of makeup.
I think you can do, I think so. If you follow me on Instagram, I follow you and I see your posts and stuff. I do a lot of behind the scenes in my business with Instagram. I think that would be a great thing that you can utilize, your behind the scenes kind of boudoir photography shoots and stuff like that. Typically when I do VIP days and stuff, I'll behind the scenes from a VIP day or travel and stuff. Cause I think that's super important too. I think you can, don't get caught up into the box that Instagram is about pretty pictures. Cause we're finding out that Instagram is not about pretty pictures, it's about content now, right? People used to be all about making sure that they're squares, right? Or super colorful and stuff like that. We're finding that the accounts that get the most engagement are the ugliest ones. People just want the good people just want the good content. It's not about the pretty pictures. It's about really connecting with their audience.
So I actually had somebody to do all my Instagram is basically posts, but you have the stories and the IGTV and just in all those things. So for example, on Friday, I have a session. And so would you recommend that I just record a video clip and try to edit it in snippets?
Don't even edit. Just that's what I love about Instagram, Instagram stories. It's raw. you should be moving people to a boudoir application using Instagram.
Yeah.
Or getting people to watch, the behind the scenes, video and stuff like that. Like I've got like 2 agency clients that their call setters live on Instagram. Like they use their case study screenshots for their Instagram stories, and they just sit there and they're like, who wants, to do this, blah, 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 DM the word, blah, blah, blah. And they literally just move them straight to like an application for a phone call. It's just, I just feel like Instagram is like such an amazing low barrier way to have conversations with people.
And I feel that they're more, my clients are more in Instagram than in Facebook nowadays. I mean, they'll see my feed. They actually, a lot of them, they tell me that they saw my ad in Instagram, not necessarily in Facebook. Okay, so that's one thing. The other thing is I just wanted to tell you something very interesting that happened. Well, right now my account is shut down because there was like a thought of billing fraud, because my sister ended up paying my account with her credit card, which is in Mexico, and they shut down everything.
Oh yeah, be very careful. We had a couple of people in premium who just had their account shut down because an assistant paid with the wrong name on the card, like the
oh my God, which is good because that means that they're on top of fraud, right? But anyway, so I appeal, so I'm waiting. But here's something that I noticed in the about 2 days ago, there was an application in my mailbox from this lady. And one of the questions that I asked is, how did you hear about me? Okay. If it was a Google search or a Facebook ad, Instagram, all that. And she said, like, my husband forwarded me a video that he saw in Facebook. So her husband saw my ad for their husbands. What I'm saying is, do you think your wife is hot, but she doesn't see what you see? He forwarded that to his wife. Now the wife filled the application and then she stopped. She didn't go into the phone call. So the fact that she filled an application, now she's going to fall into the monthly, you want a free session thing. So I'm hoping that will trigger her. But that's interesting that men are not necessarily actually taking action and filling the application. They're sending that to the wives. So I was thinking, having said that, I want to see, how can I use that? Because it's not the guy, obviously they want the wives to do it, but they're not doing it themselves. They're sending it, hey, I saw this, do this.
I would be reaching out. And that's why I love, like when people reach out to me, like on Instagram or whatever, I'll send them a video back. Like, I just feel like the Instagram is just such an amazing tool to like really, I mean, you could do it on Facebook Messenger too. I don't have that on my phone. But like, I don't know. I just find that like, there's so many like lost opportunities on like with Instagram, the way that people use Instagram versus use Facebook.
So what kind of videos do you send them?
Just, hey, I saw, hey, thank you so much for it depends on what they commented to. Because a lot of times what I'll do is stories allows you to like get people to ask you a question. And so I'll send them a video answering their question back. That starts a conversation. Instagram stories is just really cool about like making it so easy for you to poll your audience and find out what they want. And I don't know. There's just something about that platform that makes me more apt to talk to people than on Facebook.
Okay. So you record a video in Loom and send it to them?
No, send it straight from, I don't ever leave my phone. Like I just like
open
up. Cause like, if like I can send you can send a video message.
Oh,
you can send video messages or you can send audio messages.
Through the messenger in Instagram?
Mm-hmm.
Oh
yeah. Like so for instance, like Bree, who's in premium, she just got her shot glass, right? How many of you guys have got your shot glasses? Like as soon as I'm done with this call, I'm just going to press this little camera here. It brings up the thing. It just brings up the thing, and I can send her a video back.
Oh, interesting.
And it's short, like this. It's short and sweet. Like you can send like just like little short clips and stuff like that. And it just, for me, it just is a better tool to like really have that connection with people. Like one of my clients, Tasha, she actually, because she doesn't take her sales calls anymore, like she'll actually find the people who submitted, if they submit their Instagram profile or if they submit their Facebook, she will literally personally send them a message saying, hey, I'm super excited. You're going to be talking to Charlie. I'm going to be out of town. I'm not able to take your call, but I just want to let you know, Charlie, has just as experience as I do. And I'm super excited. And I, just let me know what your experience was like and blah, blah, blah. That does a lot for her credibility, right? Because she's not taking the sales call, but she found a way to, to connect with that person who just signed up for an application for a call.
Interesting. Oh my God, this is, all this reverse organic starting to finally make sense.
Well, it's just conversations, right? We're figuring out how to take Facebook ads or YouTube ads or anything and turn that paid traffic into organic. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
And this is the thing. These are the things that compound over time. Like what we're doing here is literally why my agency clients can spend less than $6,000 a month on ads and be in the six-figure range, because it's months and months and months of doing this.
Doing the same thing over and over. Okay.
Like most of my clients, when they come to me, they're spending $10,000 to $15,000 a month in ads. I can get their ad spend under $6,000 and almost double their revenue a month by just implementing this, because most of them are just, most agencies are just doing ad to funnel, and then they have like one or two retargeting ads. But what we're doing here is we're like literally plugging up every possible black hole with, ads that cost like $1.
Yeah. Okay.
And all it is giving us more opportunities to talk to people.
Yeah. And I did create a couple of behind the scenes videos, last week in Chicago. I'm just waiting for my account to be restored. So I'm going to replace one of the Fire 4. I'm going to replace it with a behind the scenes. And then I did a more complete tour of just the studio without clients for the husbands that I'm going to put also in the retargeting. Basically, that would be also like a part of the Fire 4. So yeah, taking that little by little. Okay.
Heck yeah.
Cool.
Perfect. Hey, Gelly. Did I say your name right?
Yes, you did. You're one of the only ones. So
awesome. I think I've heard Petra say it a couple of times. So welcome.
Well, I'm so excited to be here. Petra's given me, she's been talking about this on our weekly, we text with each other every day and goad each other onto our goals. So I'm excited. So I have a couple of questions. I'll figure out how to get on a call with you alone. But I just wanted to get on here based on what I know from Petra and my beginning work in the 90-day. I filmed 3 to 5 minute videos and 3 1-minute, literally 59-second videos on I'm all about parenting with the power of play. So just fall play ideas, speaking to objections. I have no idea how to use ad managers. So which one would be?
Yep. So audience. So there's a section in the program that's called the audience builder. Okay. And which, by the way, guys, I just made the audience builder 1,000,000 times easier. So Petra will be happy about that. Actually, one of the videos is me and Petra placing her ads, but I just simplified the audience builder strategy so much. You guys are going to love it. But yeah, those videos are hot off the press. But yeah, go through the audience builder strategy. It'll walk you through step by step. You don't even need to know much about and that's what is a beauty about this program is you watch me place it, and as long as you press every single button that I'm pushing, it's fine.
Okay. And I hired a VA that's a Facebook ad specialist, because I managed to mess up everything I touch my hands on when it comes to tech, but I'm determined not to miss out on the holiday season. So,
yep, absolutely. And let me know what that VA's name is, because we can put them on the ad audit calls with you, so that if that person's going to be executing your ads, which I always recommend, if you can do it and have a VA, if you're don't want to mess with the ads manager, hire someone, for $8 an hour that will do it for you, and then just put them on the call.
Okay, so he can actually watch this as well, and
absolutely. Yep. Okay. I have plenty of people. Actually, Tassie and Maya tag team this. Tassie places the ads for Maya, and Maya just comes to the coaching calls where we talk about content and stuff, and then Tassie comes to the ones where we talk about execution.
Okay, wonderful, amazing. I'm so excited.
We're happy to have you here. I love when friends join together.
Yeah. Well, we'll have something else to get on about. We get a little crazy. We're like back and forth from in the morning till at night.
That's
so.
okay. We're a crazy bunch here, so it's okay.
Okay, great. I'm excited. Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Miss Elaine.
Hi, Laurel. You okay?
Hi. Yeah.
Hi. Yeah. I've just got a couple of questions.
Yeah.
Well, the first one, I missed the first 10 minutes, so I came on late. But the reverse organic, I get the fire for, the retargeting and the warm audiences, but the reverse organic, is that kind of the first one before the fire for?
So reverse organic is the Instagram strategy. So the Fire 4 is the one that comes in, and typically you could do it like on YouTube or you could do it on Facebook. It's just an Instagram strategy that just walks them through, like, so let's say someone visits my $7 program, right? I can send them a video that says, hey, I saw that you were this close to joining my $7 program. I get it. You're skeptical. Give me a try. Swipe up and follow me, because every single week I give out free ad tips on my Instagrams.
Okay, so yeah, and then you got the fire 4 on top of that as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's different. So if we look at this as a whole, right, there's two ways that you can get into the ecosystem, right? There's power content, and then there's whatever this acquisition offer is, right? The reverse organic runs parallel to the Fire 4. So they'll be getting the Fire 4 on YouTube, on Facebook, whatever platform that you want to send them to. But then also it gives them a chance to follow you on Instagram, and then send them a series of Instagram ads to get them indoctrinated with who you are, what you do, how you can help them.
Got you. Okay, that's really clear now. Okay. And what was the other question? Yeah, Erica's just said that, I've just asked the question about OneStream versus StreamYard, and Erica says StreamYard is good mainly if you go live on LinkedIn, because I'm just debating which one to go for. But it sounds like OneStream, from what she said, is the right answer for if you want to go.
I've never used StreamYard, so I can't speak about that. I just like OneStream because I batch all my content and I schedule it out, and I just like set it and forget it.
Okay.
I don't know how StreamYard works.
Okay, I got the impression it's more good for LinkedIn, but that's the impression I'm getting. I'm just going to invest in.
I know StreamYard does more fancy stuff, like you can bring on other people. Like I see StreamYard as like, because we used it in television, like when I worked in television, like we would use it as kind of a switcher to where we had like one reporter here going live and then another one we could bring them in. So it's kind of like, that's the cool thing. Like I know whenever I do a lot of virtual summits, people will bring me in and put me in a waiting room on StreamYard, and then like, so it's got way more capabilities than OneStream. I like OneStream just because it's simple, and I'm honestly not a tech person at all.
Okay. I think I'll go for the OneStream and sort of weighed up both options. And the other thing is like,
and it's free. You could do it for free. Like I did the free version for a really long time. You could do it for free up to one platform in 5 minutes.
Okay, so and then I think it's only about $10 a month, isn't it? $10 or $20 a month.
Yeah, it's like $8 a month or something. It's not expensive. Another way that I use it, because like here sometimes we have like the shittiest internet, and so I want to make sure that like my video streams crystal clear. And so what I do is I upload my videos at full quality to OneStream, and then when it streams at full quality. So even if I have shitty internet, I can still, put out good quality content.
Right. Okay. We've got a similar problem here. Actually.
Where are you at?
So in Derbyshire in the UK.
Okay.
Sort of North England, mid England, but we're sort of near the countryside. It's a bit dodgy. There was one more
I always picture the countryside like this, just rolling green nonstop.
Yeah, it is. It's very green where we are, all green trees and hills and lakes. It's lovely. But
that's awesome.
I've watched a lot of your stuff on the friends and the interaction on your personal profile. What I did, really bad mistake. I literally about 2 years ago, I took all my friends off, thinking I don't want anybody to see me. You go through sort of growth phases, don't you, in your confidence. So I took them all off, and then I just started building business. But then I decided the interaction just crashed. So I brought them all back in, just such a mess. They're all back in. But since messing around with it all, the interaction's quite low. So I know I'm getting the right people on there, And I know you're supposed to interact with them, like and comment, and then they like and comment back. And I know the algorithm, how it works, but I'm just not getting the interaction at all. Not as much as I wanted. It's mainly friends and family and other people. I've had some traction, definitely.
So in what niche are you doing this for?
Okay, so I run a lead agency, so I have a lot of brick and mortar businesses at the moment, but I have got coaches as well, which I help. I don't do Instagram or YouTube ads. I just do Facebook. So I've got, my husband's a coach, so he's got a group of friends and they've wanted help. But I'm just not getting, so it's more kind of getting leads for coaches really. So I suppose it's similar to what you do, but I'm not as advanced, you know, as you, because you're doing YouTube. And
How long have you been doing it?
a year.
But have you been consistent with your power content and like making sure
Well,
that they got resources and stuff? And
I have had 2 operations this year and I was given the all clear in June. So it was all a bit scary. So I've not been consistent. I've got over all that next.
And because also you have to make sure that you're adding people too, right? So like so here's what I did. I'll just tell you what I did. So whenever I first was dabbling, right? Because I didn't know if this was going to turn into a business or not. And my very first agency clients were all brick and mortar businesses. And what I would do is I would go live on my Facebook business page and I would download it. No, I would go live on my profile, download it. This was old school, and then upload it to my Facebook business page. And I would make sure that I didn't have like any like promo or anything like that. And I would go to the local Chamber of Commerce Facebook group. And I would say, hey, like, probably a lot of you guys want to get into the Facebook ad game. I don't have anything to sell. Here's, a value video that's, and I just regularly did that. And people just started like coming and asking me like, hey, because they started following me, they would friend me, they would see more of my content. They would ask me for resources. And that's literally how I got like all of my agency clients, was just from posting value videos, having conversations, right? Thinking about where are those business owners that I want to work with. And then I just slowly started doing it. I call it Social Savvy Saturday. And on Saturdays, I would just literally, it was so cute. I would go and get some donut holes and I would go get a couple of bottles of Andre champagne. And I had this big thing and I would like make these mimosas and invite them for mimosas and donuts. And I would just literally teach them Facebook ads. And and so it was like a free workshop, right? And I would just post this in the chamber. And I would say like during my thing, I was like, hey, I've got an opening. I can only take one of you guys. And so if you're interested in me working with you guys, come grab me. And just me saying I can only work with one of you, like I'm just doing this for value and I can only work with one of y'all. So this is, it got me a lot of traction.
Okay, was that, you said the Chamber of Commerce?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, oh, well, okay.
The local chamber.
Yeah, so people come to you naturally, want to be friends with you and interact with you. Yeah,
and all I was doing, like all my videos that I was posting in the group didn't have, call to action or any promo or anything like that. As a matter of fact, I think back in the day it was like hashtag no promo or something like that, that I would just do with my video, and I would just talk and give value. It's funny, because I would message a couple of people. Like there was this one guy who was having issues with his with the girl that was doing his ads, and he was like asking, he's like, hey, I've got this girl that's doing ads, and he posted this in the group. And I messaged him back and I was like this girl like that was doing his ads, she was like telling him that he should be blogging and doing all this other stuff. And he owned a mattress store. You guys hear me talk about Carlos a lot, but that's literally how I got to know Carlos and became his client. Was I was posting in Chamber of Commerce groups. Also, I was trying to give a helping hand. So one of the things that I would do is I'd go into those groups and I would search Facebook ads. So any post that had the word Facebook ads in it would show up.
Yeah,
that's great for any of you guys who work in that kind of niche. Go into your Facebook groups and type in the search, and you'll see all of the topics that you're specialized in. Well, I started talking to Carlos and he was telling me what this girl was doing, and I was like, let's just like meet. And it's funny, we met at Denny's, and he was like, I can't believe I'm talking to you right now. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, I've been following you for like 6 months. He's like, I've always wanted to message you, but I thought you might've been too expensive for me because of the exposure that I had like given myself.
Yeah.
And he
so
became
anyway,
one of my best clients, like one of my best clients. Like he did everything. Like he was the one that was like the small mattress store owner that could follow his clients home in the truck. And I mean, we would do, and I got him to the point, so I would go and like shoot his videos for him. He got to the point where he was sending me videos, and he would send me these videos sitting in the big like new bed that he got, and he was like kick back with a beer, and he'd be like, don't you guys wish you had this nice new bed to like relax? I mean, he would send me the funniest videos. He sent me a video once on how to get out, because he was having a sale on like kids mattresses, and he was talking about, hey, like here's how to know whether your kid's pee is going to come out of the mattress or it's time for a new mattress, right? And so he was actually giving a solution. So, but half of the people were like, oh shit, I need a new mattress, right? He did videos on how to get out wine stains, all of these things that like, mattresses and stuff. And so when we're talking, I love working with brick and mortar clients because they're just so like, they like, and you probably notice this from working with like coaches and stuff, and then brick and mortar, like anything you do for brick and mortar, they think you're like God. You're like, oh my God, that is so awesome. Whereas coaches are like, that's it, that's all you're gonna do.
well, since being on your course, I've taken on 3 new clients on brick and mortar. One does shutters and blinds.
That's awesome.
We've
Yeah.
got such a different approach now after learning all off you, really unique content going out rather than just boring ads offering offers and one static picture. But interesting videos, they're willing to work, they're all excited.
It's all about visibility. Like Carlos, like he called me one day and he's like, Laurel, he's like, some guy walked in and was like, hey, Carlos, and just started talking to me like he knew me because he had been seeing like all of the video ads, right? He wasn't expecting to see Carlos in the actual store. He just thought Carlos was like their like character or something. Mm-hmm. And so it does work. Like, and it's one of those things with brick and mortar clients. What I always tell people, it's like, it's going to compound over time. It's like they might not need it right now, but like when they do need to replace a window, right, they're going to go to your client because they've been seeing like all of this like super helpful, it doesn't have to be like super like quote valuable, but just like entertaining content and just staying top of mind, right?
Well, this new shutter company, I've got them to put shutters up on the window, and they go to open them, the whole thing collapses, the whole shutters fall off, and that they say, this is why you should come to us because you won't get this. We do this, why we install it this way. We've got registered, qualified people. So it's fun now. Do you know what I mean? Before it was a little bit boring, static ads that just people just scroll past. CTRs were really low, but it's really interesting. But
yeah, and you have to think about like what makes the business unique, right? Like going back to Carlos, like he was unique because like what was a problem that he was solving? Big mattress stores, they charge you an arm and a leg to deliver. They can't deliver at the next day, right? You have to wait like 3 or 4 days. You never know when they're going to show up. They give you a time window, right? Carlos was like, you buy this mattress, I follow you home and I install it, right? Like I always tell my wife every time I sit at the doctor's office, I'm like, if there was a doctor that would say on a Facebook ad, like I guarantee that you will be seen at the appointment that you place and you will get out of here on time. I was like, hands down, I don't care how much that doctor costs. I'm going to be sitting in there waiting. Like I'm going to like go to them. Right. And so with your clients, that you have to find that little thing, like what is a problem in the market that you can help your client solve to where people are going to be like, I don't give a shit about, they don't see the cost. They just see like, that's so convenient. I don't even care.
I'm struggling a bit though with cost because some of them one's a big manufacturer, but then I charge $750 a month, which is pounds, so it's about $1,000 to run the ads. If the ad spends above £1,000 a month, so it's about £750, which is about 1,000. It's almost like too much for them, whether it's the UK. But then I also charge a setup fee because it takes you time to set them all up, and that's non-refundable because they can take over them in their own business manager. I mean, did you, when you work with brick and mortar, did you charge a setup fee or? No.
$497, and I did whatever the hell they wanted.
What, per month?
$497 a month. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe mine's too high then.
I just remember I was just starting. I would never charge that now, but I wouldn't take on a brick and mortar client now because it's just it's easier and they don't need. So what I do, I'll just tell you what I do. So for brick and mortar, I do quarterly packages. So instead of like charging them monthly, I'll say, hey, I'll go in and shoot all your content. It's almost like a VIP day, right? I get all their content. We set it all up because brick and mortar businesses don't need to change out ads as much as like coaches and stuff like that. So what I do with them is I work with them on a quarterly basis. So they're not paying a monthly fee. They're just paying like $1,000 or whatever that, depending on how long they want. And I just go in and like work with them. And then I don't see them for another like 3 or 4 months.
Right. Okay. Okay. I mean, I do get clients at the higher end, but I'm just finding these lower end people who deal shutters and blinds are not willing to pay the money, but people higher construction businesses are. Because
they don't see like the return on investment, and it might not be right. It might be more beneficial for you to spend a VIP day with them and charge them like $1,000 for 4 hours of your time to just set them up and then do like a quarter. Like I just moved my brick and mortar stuff to quarterly versus monthly, because for brick and mortar it just doesn't make sense to do monthly.
No. Okay. All right. No, that's interesting. So just very quickly then, with your friends, I get the impression that you get suggested friends come up because you keep adding certain types of people, and then suggested friends come up. That's great. But then what you're doing is adding really valuable content, and then people are asking you to be friends, which is more powerful than me just reaching out to cold people that have never heard of me before, hoping they're going to be a friend. So I think it's all
it's still a valuable strategy. Like whenever I first started, I would still like when I started working with like Chad Thibodeau and stuff, and like they talked me into switching from brick and mortar into doing for coaches, even though I was like, I don't want to do ads for coaches. I don't want to do that. Once I got into that cycle, I started like friending a whole bunch of health coaches and stuff like that. But remember, I'm doing my organic power content strategy. They didn't give a shit that I was adding them as a friend, because what is the first thing that people do, right? When someone adds you as a friend, you go and who the hell is this person? If my profile's dialed in and I've got that first video piece of content that they see is relevant, highly relevant to them, and a high piece of valuable content, they're not going to like, a lot of people were like, wow, like I can't believe that like you put out this free content. Like, I'm glad you friended me. Thank you for friending me, So we have to like just go into it as being of service to people versus gathering leads.
So in your niche, I suppose it's only if they're interested in ads. If they want to do organic completely, well, no, because you do organic. Yeah, I get it. Okay.
Yeah. Remember, ads are just organic content with money on it.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, well, I think I've got my questions answered. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyone else have a question? Erica, why the heck are you so quiet today?
No reason, just listening, soaking it all in.
And looking at the views.
Yes, enjoying my day. No questions. I need to just get my stuff up. But I did finally talk myself into actually, writing in my niche down stuff. So I'm going to go on my LinkedIn and change it. And I'm going to go on my Facebook and change it all everywhere, because I think that is going to make a big difference, especially like you were just talking about when you add the people, if it actually talks about them, I think that's going to make a big difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like think about like, if I'm going to talk to this person, how could I add value without like being a pitch hole? Like, I don't even sign into LinkedIn. I'm like, I have my repurpose goes to my LinkedIn, and I don't even sign in because I'm like, this is just ridiculous. Like, I sign in my messengers, all of these people trying to pitch me something. I'm like, I can't deal with it. Awesome.
It's funny you say that, because I think like I have every single coaching consultant on LinkedIn has sent me a message, like every one of them. I've got everybody that is if anybody targets them like you should go on my LinkedIn, because I've got them all in my LinkedIn. Every single one of them. It's crazy.
I'm just going to go to Erica's LinkedIn and just like start friending everybody. Yeah. I don't even have time for that. I'm like, oh my gosh. I was like, Angie Jordan, who's in premium, she posted a really nice note about me today, and tagged me. And it's just really awesome that what she said about like when people like just work, like focus on serving people and having conversations, how much of a bigger impact that is than someone trying to force value on people. And that she valued that I spend so much time with you guys in the $7 program. And I don't worry so much about like focusing on people who haven't became a customer by now. And like, she was like, that was like, kind of like, she's like, that's one of the biggest lessons Laurel has taught me is like, you can, how did she put it? She put it so beautifully said, I'm going to say it in the wrong way, but she's like, it's just amazing to see how Laurel caters to the people that have already invested in her versus how so many people
Chase.
take the money and then they continue to chase more and more and more and more and more. And I thought, I was like, that's an awesome compliment. Like, and,
That
but
is
it
a
made
really
me, it
great-
made me remember like why I do this, right? Because sometimes even I get caught up in like, well, you know, should I get more $7 members? And I'm like, no, why? You know, which, you know, one of the things that we're going to start doing is like, you know, partnering with people. And it's like, hey, if you want to offer, you know, the $7 program to your coaching clients, you know, we'll give it to you at a discount. Like we've been doing that and it's been bringing in like, so I've been having to like not even run my cold ads anymore, which is awesome. But it's like thinking about like, how could I serve y'all better, right? How could I make what we do and strengthen our community versus bringing in all these, you know, crazy ass people.
I think most people that have been with you for the time realize like, I mean, just the benefits are far and wide, but I think your heart is the biggest part of it because you
What's
really-
so fun though, like it's fun. Like I can't imagine like I don't understand how like a lot of people are just like more and more and more. I'm like, I don't know how they do it. Like how do they sleep? How do they how do they have a life? But I
because
guess
they're
they have
not
teams and-
going in, they're not like taking the time and the care to actually, you know, make their people successful.
Well, I hope that you guys enjoy it. I enjoy it. Like this program is so much fun. So yeah, I know everyone's leaving. I know it's time. I gotta go get a walk. I'm like I'm staring at my computer too long
Question,
today.
and it's very technical. Can you tell me very quickly where to find the help chat for Facebook? Because it's taking a while for my account to get restored. So I want to like bug them and see if they can like
Yeah, absolutely. I'll actually pull it up. Let's see.
find it. Bye, Erica.
All right, I'm hopping off. Bye guys.
Yeah, it's on, let's see, Google Docs.
Can you share your screen?
Here, I'll actually just
okay.
give you this doc. I'm gonna give you the doc.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Protecting.
Oh, that's easy to find. That's all. I want to like have like a link.
Yeah, so here's just the link. Where'd it go? I should know the link by now. I use it so damn much. Here we go. So just so it's only there we go. It's only available Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, I think, something like that. So it should still be available.
Oh, okay. So right here, where is exactly for the chat?
It should just show, it just should show up.
No, it just
Scroll to the bottom.
Okay.
Find answers support. Might not be available right now.
Resources support.
Contact advertising support.
Oh my God, there are so many links. Where is it?
Yeah, I know it's hard. But yeah, you just go to contact support, Facebook advertising support, and press a whole bunch of buttons and you'll get there.
Okay, I'll poke around.
Have a good one, ladies.
Thank you. See you
Bye.
Thursday. Bye.